Gospodine Harriman, u svojoj političkoj karijeri vi ste imali više susreta sa Jugoslovenima. Da li neke od tih susreta izdvajate bilo po opšte političkom značaju, bilo po tome što za vas lično predstavljaju izvesan, izuzetni doživljaj ili uspomen?
I'm very happy to be on this program with you, and I hope the people of Yugoslavia will enjoy it. It's been my privilege to have known President Tito since the wartime days. My daughter met him first when he went to Italy, and then he came to Moscow, and I met him there, and I've known him since at that time. Thank goodness that that is no longer the situation, and that the relations between Yugoslavia and the Soviet Union are cordial again. But then I've had the privilege in recent years of being twice in Yugoslavia, and each time he was gracious enough to receive me, and we renewed old discussions of the past and of the future. Now, in addition to President Tito, I have had the opportunity to meet a number of Yugoslavian officials, your ambassadors and members of the Foreign Office, and too many to recall, but I particularly know well Mr. Velebit, because he has been the Secretary General of the Economic Committee for Europe. In that role, he's played an extremely important part in helping to develop trade between West and Eastern Europe, and generally to improve economic relationships in the whole of Europe. All of us feel that he's rendered an excellent service, and I think he represents the attitude of Yugoslavia towards the West. As you know, a great part of your trade goes to the West, and you have joined the international organizations like the World Bank and the Fund, and then you are also a special member of the OECD, Organization for European Economic Development. And that's the only country of Eastern Europe that joins in these particular international activities. So I speak of Mr. Velebit as he represents the type of point of view that so many of your officials and those that are involved in the economic life of your country have taken in all of the international organizations.
Od poslovnih ljudi ovdje, na primjer u Caterpillaru, mi smo imali prilike da čujemo da su veoma zainteresovani za saradnju sa Jugoslavijom. Isto to smo čuli i od jugoslovenskih privrednika. Međutim, postoji mišljenje da pojedini krugovi u Sjedinjenim Američkim Državama ovu saradnju ne podržavaju. Kako je vaše mišljenje o današnjim odnosima između dve zemlje i o njihovom razvitku u budući?
Well, all of those Americans who have had contacts with Yugoslavia are very much impressed with the developments, the changes that are taking place in your country, even the discussion that is going on now of having American private investment come in to help develop the industry and also the distribution. We have our businessmen report that your people have great interest in such things as our supermarkets, American methods of distribution. You want to learn from the best of our business activities. Now, of course, there are some people that have not understood the difference between Yugoslavia, and since 1948 our relations have been very close, and there has been, unfortunately, some people that don't realize even the changes that are going on in all of the Soviet Union and Eastern Europe, and the desire on the part of all those countries. But this is, we are a large country. We are been interjected into world responsibilities rather before the whole country was used to playing that role. And you're quite right. There are some people that don't understand the importance that those of us associated with our government and the leading businessmen place on improving relations with the whole of Eastern Europe, the Soviet Union, and particularly with Yugoslavia. You know, as you know, we've been doing a great deal of business since the days of UNRWA. The largest part of it is on a grant basis. Some of it is loans, which are being repaid. We hope that as time goes on, our relations will become closer and closer. You know, there's a very strong element in our country that owes their forebears have come from Yugoslavia and other countries of Eastern Europe. And this group wants very much to reestablish relations. They still write letters to their friends at home. And this is a tie which will bind us permanently together.
Kroz susrete sa Jugoslovenima verujem da ste stekli utisak da nam naši gledaoci ne bi oprostili ako vam ne bi postavili pitanje u vezi sa svetskom situacijom. Da li su vaša gledanja, obzirom na posljednje događaje u svetu, pesimistička ili biste htjeli da kažete nešto što bi bilo ohrabrujuće, naročito u vezi sa mogućnošću obustavljanja krvoprolića u Vijetnamu i u vezi sa današnjom situacijom na Srednjem istoku?
Well, I'm an optimist by nature, and I think it's necessary to be optimistic. If we always saw the black side of everything, life wouldn't be worth living. Now, my present work, as given me by President Johnson, is entirely in the field of attempting to encourage and start negotiations for peace in Vietnam. I've traveled around the world. I've been to 50 countries since President Johnson has been president. The last year and a half, my travel has been almost entirely in regard to peace in Vietnam. And I can assure you that every country in the world, I'm optimistic, because every country in the world, the governments and people, want peace. And with the pressure of world opinion, I'm satisfied that negotiations will begin before too long. I can't prophesy just when. There is important developments in Vietnam which I think will encourage the people of South Vietnam and also encourage North Vietnam to negotiate.
Na kraju ovog našeg razgovora, gospodine Harriman, da li biste htjeli još nešto da kažete Jugoslovenima, odnosno jugoslovenskim televizijskim gledalcima?
It's a great privilege to have a chance to talk to the people of Yugoslavia. I want to first place thank them all for the very cordial manner in which every one of you have, whom I've had the privilege of seeing and meeting. My wife and I have always had the greatest of hospitality in the number of times that we have been in Yugoslavia. It's a privilege, too, because of the great beauty of your country, the historic interests. We went down the Dalmatian coast last year, found it even more enticing than the many reports that we've had from it. And I do hope that this program, as you've developed it, will interest more of the people of your country in the United States, and we look forward to welcoming your people here, and I hope that you'll find the same kind of hospitality extended to your citizens when they come here as we have enjoyed in going to your wonderful country.
Gospodine Harriman, dozvolite da vam se zahvalimo u ime gledaoca jugoslovenske televizije na ovom susretu, na ovom intervjuu i da vam poželimo da se brzo oporavite. Thank you.
So thank you very much. We're grateful for your visit to this country and the work you're doing to bring a little bit of America to Yugoslavia.